Well, it is once again time to check in on weather now with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist Eric Hunt. Eric, it's been a pretty good week when it comes to harvest and harvest progress, as I mentioned earlier in the show. But how are things looking as we turn to the week ahead?
Thanks, Bryce. I think we could see some challenges this upcoming week with harvest. More on that in a little bit. First, let's start out with the drought monitor, which was released Thursday morning. So some good news to report. We actually have the highest percentage of the state in the none category since June 15th of 2021. And we actually saw some two-category improvements across Cherry, Loop, Custer, Wheeler, Holt, Pierce, and Antelope counties. Unfortunately, we did see a little bit of degradation here in Chase County to moderate drought from abnormal dryness. We saw very heavy precipitation across the northern third of the state, including kind of down here to Custer and Dawson County. Biggest precipitation total was this on the observer from the Holt-Wheeler County line, where we did see almost 10 inches of rain in about a 48-hour period late last week. This also is reflected in the soil moisture. We generally are doing very, very well across a lot of northeastern, north central Nebraska, and also out here a lot of the panhandle. So again, very good changes with last week's rains. A little bit degradation down here closer to, say, Red Cloud, Superior, where we had picked up less rain last week. So in terms of the week ahead, we do have some potential challenges coming up this week. Starting on Sunday, we might see a little bit of rain in western Nebraska in the morning and then in the eastern part of the state in the afternoon. Again, I think these amounts should be relatively light if you get anything at all, so I don't think that should affect your harvest too much. But as we move through the day on Monday and into Monday, or certainly Monday night into Tuesday, we will have a cold front moving through the state. The western half of the state looks to be relatively dry from this, but eastern Nebraska certainly could pick up some showers and storms from this. And there's definitely even a chance of some severe weather across parts of southeastern Nebraska. So Auburn down to Falls City, maybe pay close attention to your forecast as you get into Monday night. This later next week, that could be a little bit more problematic in terms of some heavier precipitation, particularly across the eastern third of the state, where we might actually pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain. But there's still some uncertainties, including the strength of place of the storm would be coming out of the southwest, and where that we would be moving to. Southeastern ridge of high pressure that would be pumping moisture back into our area. The placement of that and the strength of it will greatly define how much moisture transport we have up here. And the normal remnants, which right now don't look to be a huge factor for us, but if there is a bit more moisture from normal, which is currently in the Pacific, if this works its way up here, then we could actually see some more rain. Again, I think the southeastern third of the state is most likely to see more than 2 inches of rain. It doesn't look quite as wet as we get into central Nebraska, and it looks to be a relatively dry week for most of western Nebraska. Getting into a little bit deeper into the forecast, we head toward next weekend and early the following week. It does look to be colder. Now, the timing of the coldness of the air is still a little bit uncertain. It might be by next Friday. It might hold off until the following Saturday or Sunday. But certainly by then, everybody will have had a freeze. If you haven't already, most places have already had one, but certainly places in eastern Nebraska that have not had a freeze will get one by that point. There also is a risk of heavy snow. The CPC put this risk of heavy snow out early this morning, being Thursday morning. Now, this is mostly a reflection of the GFS. Yesterday was putting some heavy snow across northern Nebraska into South Dakota. It has since shifted that north. The European model has been keeping the snow up in Canada, so I'm not real bullish on this, but keep an eye on this as we head toward Halloween. Thanks. Back to you, Bryce.